Miss Aurora. So I just wanted to try and hurry up and get a video on here just in case you went on YouTube today just to see what I had on there. And I realized I didn't ask your son's name. I feel so silly. But anyway, it just felt like it was meant to be that I spoke to you today and had overheard you say, about, tall wood, which caught my attention. And I know the feeling of the struggle of virtual learning. And I especially know that it's so difficult when, math that we just don't use all the time, it's like you use it or you lose it. And if you don't like math, you lose it, because as much as I love math, I can admit to myself that I have not used the quadratic formula in any other life situation, unfortunately. But we do have to use it in school, and I would love to help your son. So what I'm going to do is I pulled up the formulas. I know you were saying that he was struggling a little bit with formulas. So I found a listing of some formulas from Virginia Department of Education for Algebra II, because I know you said that's the class he was in, and just do a quick video and go over just a couple of quick things. And then from there, just feel free to write a comment, or you can email me, or whichever, if there's something specific that he's working on right now, like a certain unit, and he has questions about, feel free to ask them on here, or to forward them to my email, because my email is the same thing as my YouTube name, just at Gmail. So getting into this, these are the formulas that I found online. So we have our geometric formulas, which are our most basic ones here. We've got the area of a triangle right here. We've got perimeter and area of rectangles, and then we've got the Pythagorean theorem here. And then we've got quadratic formula. Then we have these ones here. This is kind of, it may be where he's at this point of the year, unless with their plan they decided to continue on with doing continuation of learning versus introducing new concepts. I'm not sure, but I'm not even going to cover those just because I'm not sure what he's going on, but just getting into the basics. But also these are the next set of formulas. So Miss Aurora's son, if these look familiar to you, or if these are the ones that you are working on, please let me know. And I need to refresh a tiny bit on some of these. But yes, so we've got these sequence and series formulas. And then last but not least, we have right here. Now this I definitely need to refresh, because my goodness gracious, it's been a while. But I got it in my notes somewhere, because I am definitely a total dork, and I have all of my notes from high school and college still saved in binders in little sheet protectors. But I figured, just to start things off and to have something that can be put up here, that we can start out with these geometric formulas here. So the geometric formulas, the first two that we can talk about is the area of a triangle, and then area and perimeter of a rectangle. Now, I know you're going to be like, lady, this is, But just to start things off, just so we have video up here. So with area of a triangle, we know that our formula is going to be right here in this box. We have got area equals 1/2 times base times height. Okay. And so all we do is we plug what we know and what's given to us in our picture or in our word problem into the formula. So in this example right here, we have a triangle that is given to us that has a height of 10 meters, and then it has a base of 14 meters. So we are just going to plug that into the formula. So we keep this 1/2. We just carry it down from the formula. And then we're going to plug in our base of 14 meters, and we're going to plug in our height of 10 meters. Okay. And then we end up with an area of 70 meters squared. Now, I'm sure every single math teacher has stressed to you the fun thing of being sure that you have that squared on there when you're talking about area. Because If you left this answer as simply 70 meters, like this, it would be counted incorrect if you were handing it into your teacher or you plugged that into your answers on virtual learning, because without that squared, it is not showing an area. Area must have that squared at the end of the unit. Now, if you did have something that didn't have a unit on it, like this one gave us meters, this triangle. If you have one, let's talk about this perimeter here on this rectangle. Our perimeter of a rectangle. I mean, there's several ways that you can word this formula. I mean, you can say 2 times length plus 2 times width, or you can say length plus width plus width. Whatever's easiest for you, it works. So I went ahead and stuck with the one that is actually on the Virginia Beach SOL formula sheet, the 2L plus 2W, 2 times length plus 2 times width. I stuck with that just to try and stay in line with Virginia Beach there for you. This right here, we had a length of 7 and a width of 3. And I'd like to point out on this area of rectangle down here, just to point out to you, that even if it only offers you these two numbers here, like say that this 7 wasn't there and this 3 wasn't there, let's just take them out and make it look a little bit different. And let's make that. There we go. All right, so we're going to take that one away. And we'll take this one away. Let's copy you. Copy. Paste. Let's turn ya. And get rid of that 3. If it looks just like that, then it's still going to be the same. So you know that with a rectangle, you know, your opposite side over here is going to be 3. And then the 7, your opposite side will still be a 7. So if they don't offer it to you, but they've offered you these two, you can already, you can write it on there if you want, or just remember your formula and plug them in. But I just wanted to point that out to you because sometimes, you know, it does get tricky when you're thinking about perimeter and you're like, well, I need all 4 sides, but sometimes they might just show you the 2. I don't know if they're saving ink. I'm not sure. But just remember that with a rectangle that you've got, the opposite sides are going to be the same length. So what I'm pointing out to you on this particular problem is that it offers us a length of 7 and a width of 3. But if you notice, it does not give us any unit of measurement. It does not give us meters, centimeters, inches, miles. We have no idea how big this rectangle is. We just know the numbers. So what you'll do is you'll plug them into your formula as usual. So if you have your formula, you will plug in what you know. You have 2, this L. You find your L, which is 7, and plug it in, plus 2 times the width. Find your width and plug it in. And then you're going to go ahead and solve those. Now, when I'm doing math myself, I don't skip any steps. I write down everything, even if I know it. I don't solve as I go and then just write the answer, because no matter how simple the problem is, that can still end up leading you in a direction of missing something, skipping something, or anything like that. And I learned that in 7th grade from my 7th grade math teacher, Miss J. Davis. And I still do it to this day, that even in my notes, you'll see that I carry down every single thing that I write. I carry every single one down and fill in as I go. Meaning that, like, I don't just put that in there like that and then say in my calculator, oh, well, I know that's 14 and I know that that's 6 and what's 14 plus 6. I don't just do it in my head. I write it down anyway to keep myself in line. So 14 plus 6 equals 20. Now, because they didn't give us a measurement, a unit of measurement, you still need to list something in your answer. So your perimeter would equal 20 units. So if they offer you nothing, you would say units. So if you were doing area of this rectangle and you knew that you had to have that squared, your answer could be 20 units squared. So keep that in mind, that if they do not offer you a unit of measurement, you don't know if it's inches, you don't know if it's centimeters, you don't know what it is, then you can plug in units. You can say actually the word units, but oftentimes when you are doing online learning, they will want you to just put a U like this, and then they will want you to have the squared right beside it. And most oftentimes, I'm sure when you're filling things in, that it cover that up. There we go. That it gives you the area, you know, to put that tiny little 2 for your squared. But just don't forget to offer what your unit of measurement is, even if they don't give you one. All right, let me get everything back the way that it looked before here. Okay, so perimeter, super easy. Just all of the sides, add them up. It doesn't matter if your shape looks like this rectangle here. If they give you a crazy shape, let's find something, you know, area of a rectangle, example, area of, let's find one. I saw one when I was scrolling earlier to pull things for my, let's see here, perimeter of a rectangle. Now, perimeter, all it is just adding up all your sides. So even if you end up with a, like, look at this one, a crazy looking shape like this, all you're doing is adding up all the sides. So you make sure that you have the length for each side. Every single side is listed. Oh, but look at that. That one's missing one. So you'd have to find out what that side is. Interesting. But you add up every single side, and there's your perimeter. Goes for any, you know, 2D shape. So same thing for triangles as well. So if you had to find, you know, the perimeter of the triangle, then you would have to have all of the lengths of your sides of the triangle. So let's see here. So area of a rectangle is when we are going to find all of the space inside of our shape. We're not looking for the length of the outside. We are looking for all of the shaded space inside of our shape, just like we did here with this triangle. We found all of the area inside of our triangle. We're going to find all the area in our rectangle. Our formula for area of a rectangle is length times width. Can't get any easier than that. You just go ahead and plug them in as you go. Oh, look, and I did them backwards. Not that it matters, but let me go ahead and fix that. No. Yeah, I did it backwards. Let me fix that. But what property is that? Commutative, associative. That when you multiply, it doesn't matter which way they go. But I want to make sure that I'm following it exactly. So we've got our area of a rectangle. We have length times width. 30 times 10. 30 times 10 is 300. The area of this rectangle is 300 centimeters squared. Don't forget that squared, and they gave us a unit, so don't forget to put that centimeters in there. Okay, big, huge differences, especially in virtual learning, because you have to be so specific, since you don't, a lot of times it's graded by a computer. You don't have that teacher there that's going to use the frame of mind of, you know, oh, I know what they meant, because the computer is not going to know what you mean. Computer is going to say yay or nay, and if you don't have that centimeter squared in there, it's going to say nay. So area of a rectangle, make sure you got your squared and your unit. So let me pause my video on my phone. I'm going to pause that right quick, 2 seconds.